have a wet and stormy Wednesday morning. We have a Viper 6 alert day as we track potential severe weather. But in the meantime, tomorrow will be dry and warm once again. All the details on the forecast coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 10, an investigation underway after 2 people were found dead in a fire in Grovetown. What we know so far. Also ahead, the Play It Forward Golf Clinic today. We'll take you to that special event. And breaking ground on a brand new hospital in Columbia County. We're covering today's ceremony as your News at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us as coverage you can count on begins in Grovetown, where investigators are working a murder case. It all started when the Grovetown Fire Department and law enforcement responded to a house fire on Newmanton Road. Bria Smith has more.
A Grovetown city employee saw this fire and tried to help after neighbors say there were people on the inside. Once firefighters got here and were able to get inside the home, they found a man identified as Donald Beck. They say Beck broke a window at the back of the house and he tried to get out. They were able to get him to the hospital where he is now recovering. Once the fire was put out, firefighters found the bodies of Karen Denise Bowell and a juvenile who they say was her son. Both bodies were burned and the coroner says they were also stabbed. Police say Beck and Boswell lived together along with several children. A neighbor describes what he saw.
I could hear the girl hollering, but it just, I don't know what happened after that because then the guy said, well, I need my wife and kids, and they said, well, where they at? He said, look in the bedroom. So the fireman told the other fireman to look in the bedroom, and I guess that's how they found him.
Police say Donald Beck is the considered suspect and is in the hospital under guarded condition. We'll share more information as the investigation continues. In Grovetown, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Another fire today, this one at a local tire company. Happened early this morning at Jack Rogers Tire Pros on Ridgeland Avenue. When crews got there, half the building was already on fire.
Really, it's 100% total loss. I've got service trucks that got burned up. I got a couple of customers' cars that got messed up, and I just feel bad for my customers that their vehicles are inside my building and parked in front. They got some heat damage, but I got one customer's car's total loss.
Investigators trying to find out what caused that fire. It is time now for our first check of our weather, and for that, we want to check in with meteorologist Jenna Petracci, keeping an eye on Wednesday.
That's right. We're finally going to see some rain and thunderstorm activity once again. It's been dry over the past few days, and it will also be dry tomorrow, but definitely have some rain knocking on our door. But in the meantime, here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at the airport. A bit of a breezy night with some high-level cloud cover. No rain today. We had a warm one, high of 80 degrees. That puts us 5 degrees above our average of 75. Low this morning was well above average, all the way up to 62, and that was thanks to the cloud cover that moved in. So temperatures right now in those upper 60s to low 70s, 69 in Evans, 68 in McCormick, Louisville still at 72, Wrightsville at 70, 68 in Washington, and 70 in Lincolnton. Winds coming in from the southwest. It's been a little windy at times, but right now those winds only up to around 8 miles per hour. Wind gusts only up to around 15. Satellite radar showing the blanket of cloud cover across the region. No rain associated with these clouds, though. It's nice and dry all across the southeast. We have a trough stirring up some showers and storms across central Texas, and then this big frontal boundary draped across the central portion of the United States. Low pressure right around the Kansas City area, and notice there's a lot of storms along that warm front as well. So it's going to be the cold front portion of this system that will swing through our area by Wednesday morning. But in the meantime, starting tomorrow, there's going to be a threat of severe weather across the Ohio Valley, all the way down to the Tennessee Valley, and even into northwest Georgia, an enhanced risk of severe weather. Now, for us, a lower chance of severe storms, but definitely that threat is still there. So I'll have more details on that coming up shortly. But in the meantime, tomorrow morning, it's going to be dry still, mostly cloudy with those temperatures in the low to mid 60s. So stay with us for more information on the forecast, but back to you, Brad.
All right, Jenna, we appreciate that. What a special day it was to get out on the links as Bank of America teamed up with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Augusta for the 3rd annual Play It Forward Golf Clinic. Graham Lee was there.
Any points over there? No. today will really give kids the chance to be inspired, to get some hands-on action with golf, so that as the tournament kicks off, they'll have some real-life knowledge of what golf is, and hopefully be inspired by the women here today and see themselves in the players as well.
It's the start of Augusta's busiest 2 weeks of the year. Kids from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Augusta got to learn about golf from some of the game's best.
You know, I've been living this dream since I picked up a club, and I want to share that with others, especially young kids, the next generation.
The clinic also brought out the most golfers participating in this year's Women's Amateur. They say it's a privilege to share their love of the game with the youth.
I'm really lucky that I found the game of golf. It's something that I love to push myself in, and something that I really enjoy doing at the same time. And it's been able to show me the world and taught me about myself, more importantly than anything else. Golf has been a huge part of my life for the last almost 10 years now, and it's definitely shaped me into the person I am today. Without it, I really don't know what I'd be doing. I obviously would not be doing such a great thing today.
They say it's also a great thing to be role models for the next generation.
To have people you can look up to have people that you can see yourself, one day maybe that can be you, is something that inspires greatness in so many. And so for us to be able to provide that here, thanks to Bank of America and the first tee of Augusta, is pretty special.
In Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
And speaking of golf, a brand new traffic signal for Masters traffic is now up and running on Washington Road. The new light there at the intersection of Washington and River Ridge, right across from one of the tournament parking areas. The new crosswalk is on the west side of the intersection, which has drivers saying that's going to make it tough to make a right-hand turn with all those patrons out there.
Is the crosswalk on the wrong side?
Yeah, it looks like it might be. I'm not sure, so I guess we can't turn right if they're walking, right? So guess we're gonna have to wait. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in a few short days. City workers say they put the crosswalk on the west side of the intersection because that was the best place for it, safer than the other side, and there's going to be a deputy out there during tournament play, so I'm sure things will move along just fine. Construction on the Wellstar Columbia County Medical Center is officially underway. Leaders and special guests broke ground at the site today on Gateway Boulevard in Grovetown, and Hannah Latier was there.
This is really a great milestone, not only for Columbia County, but also for the CSRA.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp was there with First Lady Marty Kemp, as well as leaders from the University System of Georgia, Augusta University, Wellstar, and Columbia County. The mission is to grow healthcare providers in Georgia.
73 counties have no emergency medical physician, and 9 counties in the great state of Georgia have no doctors at all. That can't happen.
After the groundbreaking, everyone gathered to sign a support beam.
A long time coming, but just very exciting. Such a great partnership, such great optimism for not only today, but what we're going to see in the future. It's incredible.
The hospital will have 100 rooms and beds, a level 2 trauma center, a surgery center, a medical office building for primary care and other specialties, and more. It will bring more jobs to the community and provide more access to health care for people living in rural parts of the county and surrounding areas.
10, 20 years from now, I think this place will only expand and grow larger to help increase more access.
It will also serve as a training site for MCG and AU students in the medical field.
Whether it's training opportunities for those that go into healthcare, or for just students that live in this area to know that they're going to have a state-of-the-art hospital right in this county.
Turner says they struggled for about 8 years to get a certificate of need for the hospital and just got the bonds to fund it last year. But now, everything's falling into place.
It gives people who think about making Columbia County home a bit more easier to make that decision.
Hannah Latier tonight. Construction should be finished by early 2026. Well, the legacy of a little boy lives on. 4-year-old Israel Scott drowned during private swim lessons in 2022. His parents, Walter and Dory Scott, have teamed up with the Kroc Center and the Izzy Scott Foundation for the first Splash Summit. It's going to be April 20th at the Kroc Center. They'll have water safety sessions for kids 5 to 17, guest speakers, a resource fair, food, you name it. You can pre-register for the swim sessions on the Croc Center's website or at the Izzy Scott Foundation booth Saturday, April 20th. Still ahead, a new half-cent sales tax is now in effect in the Garden City. Where is it going to go? Well, we'll tell you about it right after the break.
And a warm and cloudy start to the work week, staying dry for now, but we do have a Viper 6 alert day Wednesday morning as rain and thunderstorms move in. Some of those storms could be severe. All those details after the break.
Save fight against Parkinson's. To learn more, please go to parkinson.org or call 1-800-4PD-INFO. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Hi. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Monday evening. It was a warm day. The clouds have taken over, and temperatures will definitely stay on the mild side tonight thanks to all that cloud cover and a southwest wind coming in. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at Doctor's Hospital. Completely dry outside, still in those low 70s. That southwest wind up to 7 miles per hour, and dew points at the 60-degree mark. We're seeing upper 60s, the low 70s at this time. 68 in Washington and Crawfordville, 70 in Lincolnton. Aiken, you're also at 70, 68 in Allendale, and still 73 degrees down in Bamberg. Satellite radar showing cloud cover for everyone, but these are very high-level clouds, not going to bring us any rain. In fact, it's dry all across the southeast. A trough bringing showers and storms across central Texas, and then a very large and strong low-pressure system impacting much of the country. And for tonight, it's going to continue to bring the threat of severe weather across parts of the Midwest, and then it will push further towards the east, eventually impacting us by Wednesday morning. But in the meantime, no concerns when it comes to the rain tomorrow. It'll be 63 and mostly cloudy at 8 a.m., 83 and partly cloudy at 4 o'clock. And then as we go into Tuesday night, a slight chance of showers, but most of the rain doesn't come until Wednesday morning. Also with Wednesday, we'll have a cool down. 74 is our high, and then 64 for Thursday. So once the cold front passes us, a very cold and dry air mass will be taking over. That's also going to drop our low temperatures very drastically from the 60s down to the 30s. Upper 30s from Friday morning all the way through the weekend, and also breezy on top of that, especially on Wednesday. As the cold front pushes through, we'll have wind gusts up to around 30, 35 miles per hour, and that's outside of any severe storms. So if we do have severe storms develop, those wind gusts could reach 60 miles per hour or higher. So here it is on Futurecast tomorrow at 6 a.m., just the clouds we have to work with. This low pressure system bringing a very messy evening across parts of the Great Lakes and then into the Ohio Valley. This trailing cold front is what will impact us by Wednesday morning. But as usual, these fronts lose a lot of their steam by the time they push through. So I'm not expecting a widespread severe weather outbreak, but definitely that isolated chance. And then with this low pressure system dipping down, we'll start to see those winds shift direction, and then high pressure will take over, bringing in the cold air for Thursday. For our Futurecast closer to home, you can see by 4 o'clock in the morning, just some shower activity. It'll be around 5 to 6 o'clock where our northern counties will have this leading line move through. And within this line, we could have some cells that contain those damaging wind gusts. Now, it definitely starts to break apart as it pushes south of the interstate. By around 9 o'clock, that's when it's through the metro, Richmond, Aiken County. Our southern counties still have that threat of severe weather, but definitely on the lower side. And then it's over by lunchtime. Actually, we'll see some sunshine. So the main threat of severe weather is well to the north of us. Ohio Valley down to Tennessee, northwest Georgia. That's where there's an enhanced risk. For us, just a level 1 and level 2, which is the lower level on the scale. And it's going to be mostly our northern and western counties with the threat of that heavy rain, damaging winds, and a low chance of everything else, including flooding. Possible that we'll see an inch of rain in some of those northern counties, but the rest of us, well under an inch, a lot of us even under half an inch. So Viper 6 alert day for Wednesday with that chance of rain just for the morning. Back to sunshine Thursday all the way through the weekend. And then some chances of rain as we go into the first few days of Masters Week as well.
All right, thanks a lot, Jenna. We appreciate it. Augusta's new half-cent sales tax is now in effect. It'll be used to pay for a new James Brown Arena. Voters approved it back in November. It'll bring the total tax in Richmond County to 8.5%. Construction on the new JBA set to begin this summer. We'll be right back.
Bang.
Welcome back, everybody. South Carolina lawyer and convicted killer Alec Murdaugh getting more prison time today, this time for financial crimes. Here's Rena Roy.
In federal court Monday, a judge sentencing disgraced South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh to 40 years in prison for financial fraud.
The sentence today was about obtaining justice for the financial victims of Alex Murdaugh. These victims are not just names listed in a court filing. They are real people who trusted an attorney at the most difficult times of their lives.
This sentence to be served concurrently with his 27-year state sentence for the same crimes. And it's on top of the 2 life sentences he received last year for the murders of his youngest son and his wife.
He's a convicted murderer. He is now convicted of bank fraud, of money laundering, and now tax evasion.
The judge saying Murdaugh deceived more than 24 clients at his law firm over the course of 15 years, in total stealing nearly $11 million from them. The 55-year-old ordered to pay more than $8 million in restitution, though it's unclear how much prosecutors will actually be able to recover. In an emotional address to the court, Murdaugh saying, "I'm filled with sorrow, I'm filled with remorse, I am filled with guilt." Murdaugh has admitted to his financial crimes, saying he was in the throes of an opioid addiction. Originally, Murdaugh was facing 17 to 21 years under federal sentencing guidelines, but prosecutors asked the judge for a longer sentence after investigators say they uncovered more victims and a larger sum of stolen money. Murdaugh also failed a recent polygraph test, federal prosecutors saying he wasn't being truthful about where the stolen money ended up. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
BNKRadioF.com/creative to find out how we can do the same for you.
Well, getting set for a lot of golf and a lot of excitement over the next couple of weeks in these parts with a preview. Here's Kira Goldstein.
We are just one day away from the start of the 5th annual Augusta National Women's Amateur right here at Champions Retreat. This year, 72 of the most talented female golfers representing 17 different countries and 27 U.S. schools will compete on golf's greatest stage. For many of them, this will be their first time in the tournament, and there is so much excitement that awaits them.
I remember when I got the invitation in the mail, you know, it's this green envelope with the sender's address, is Augusta National Golf Course, and you open it, and it's amazing.
I've never played Augusta, but I've definitely watched a bunch of tapes to prepare me for it. So, I mean, that's the most I could do, really. Yeah, I've watched last year's ANWA. I've definitely pictured myself when it first broadcasted, because I was obviously I have 5 years to play it.
I'm very excited. I feel like this course is very similar to Augusta, and I think it's a very good, I wouldn't say warm-up, but it's a really good tournament to compete in before the Augusta.
I've had role models who've played this tournament, like Lynn Grant, Maya Stark, all my fellow Swedes. I hear all their amazing stories about this tournament, and then also the fact that it is kind of the strongest amateur field on the women's side in the world, and to be a part of that is absolutely amazing.
Many veterans are also returning to the women's amateur, including former winner Anna Davis and the current winner of the Sage Valley Junior Invitational, Asterisk Tally. They say they're excited to get back out on the course with some of the best golfers in the world.
I feel very honored to say, but it's my 3rd year going, so I think the first year that I went, it was almost unbelievable that I was actually going.
There's so many kids just from all around the world, and it's truly just the biggest tournament ever.
The women in this tournament work so hard to grow the game of golf and inspire the next generation. They say they hope to play at the next level.
I have definitely a strong vision that I want to compete on the highest level of golf. I want to win out there on tour. But it's also a big part of inspiring younger girls, younger boys to, pursue their dreams and to do what they love and, go full-hearted.
It's always nice when you see little girls, hopefully this can be them one day.
Patrons of this tournament get to watch the most talented golfers play on not one course, but 2.
I think now I'm kind of able to appreciate the tournament a little bit more because I've done it a few more times, and there is no feeling like it, and the way that they kind of organize the event and make you feel throughout the event is amazing.
Can't forget about the fact that it is at Augusta National, which is kind of one of the biggest places on earth for golf. I mean, I'm so extremely excited to be there and to get there.
Our live coverage of the tournament begins on Tuesday at noon, and we will have continuous updates at WJBF.com.
There's a lot to the bridge between your dreams and reality.
And last but not least, a church in Colorado celebrating Easter in the most extreme Western way with a cowboy Easter service.
And that was followed by hunting with the bulls, where kids buck up and take the eggs from the bulls, and a rodeo to raise funds for more events.
Ton of fun for sure, as Des Rowe reports.
Cowboys are known to do some crazy activities that some people might question because you're putting yourself in danger a little bit.
I was super scared, and I'm like, thank God I made that leap.
Kids, the feedback we get, they're pretty excited about it because they're a part of something that's fun and exciting.
Good job, Cowboy! I was a little nervous first, and then I just kept blaming myself, and then I got a hang of it real quick, and then I hanged on to it.
We want to do all events that people could think of: bull riding, bronc riding, roping, barrel racing, ranch rodeo, to draw people in and show them, hey, I'm sorry for how you experienced God out there in places and experienced church, and we want them to have a different experience. Things aren't always easy in life, and so, you got to work at it. And some things you get knocked down, get dirty. Things don't just always go perfectly, so I think it's symbolic of life. It doesn't always work out the way we would like it, and yet you just keep getting up and keep going.
I know there's a handful of $100 bills in there somewhere.
A lot going on at that event.
Reminds me of my homeland of Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of that going on in the Lone Star State every
Houston
day.
Rodeo just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Our 10-day forecast showing us the Viper 6 alert day for Wednesday. That is for the morning hours from around 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. We have the chance of severe weather. But tomorrow looks good. Only a 20% chance of rain at night. A cloudy day, high of 83. After the alert day, it'll be cooler and sunny.
All right, Jenna, thanks. We're back at the top of the hour on News Channel 6 at 11.
And Hogan's Heroes is next here on MeTV.